Hey, 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 hey. How are you guys doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. You guys, as you come on into this live, say hi, hello, hey. Those of you that are catching me on the replay, make sure that you type in hashtag replay, leave your questions, your comments, all that awesome stuff. And I will try my best to come back through and respond back to all your questions and comments. Those of you that are new to my space, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist, specifically for established Christian female coaches who desire to accelerate their income and their impact without compromising their Christian values. And so I want to double check and make sure that I'm live everywhere that I want to be live. You guys, once again, as you do come on in, definitely let me know that you guys are here. And so just FYI, those of you that saw my last post about the dress, this is the dress. And I'm only like 99% sure that I actually have this dress on the right way. So we just gonna flow with it and roll with it like it's on right. If you notice something, because the thing is, because of how it's designed, it doesn't have the label in the front and the back. The label is on the side. So I'm like, well, I don't know if this dress is on right, but we're just gonna assume that it is on the right way, and we're gonna keep it moving. Hey, 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 April, how are you? And so, you guys, I want to go ahead and dive on into today's conversation. It's so funny because this conversation stemmed from the newsletter that I did on LinkedIn. So I share with you guys, I'm trying some new things. And so I'm trying the newsletter feature over there on LinkedIn. And so I had this particular topic in my LinkedIn newsletter. And then someone asked, could they, could I elaborate a little bit more on it? So I said, okay, cool, 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 cool. So that was the purpose of this. Well, thank you so much, April. Because when I tell y'all, I'm like, why is this line down the front? I don't think I have this dress on the right way. But yeah, it is all good. I think I'm good now. I think I'm good. Hey, 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 hey. And so is it Letitia? Is that how you say it? Because you guys know I will jack a name up in a heartbeat, but I do try to get the names right. I really, really do. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love my turquoise. I love my turquoise. I really, really do. I love that color. Perfect, Letitia. Okay, cool. So, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and dive on into the conversation. Once again, as you notice, I don't have the countdown on, which I actually missed the countdown. I might have to create my own. The countdown that usually comes with StreamYard, but they're having some copyright issues, so people have been tagging the thing and all that stuff. So I haven't been doing the countdown until I'm sure that they cleared the copyright issue. Okay, so we just go ahead and just dive on in. And so I do have my notes because I want to make sure that I do hit everything. And so, like I said, this particular conversation stems from the newsletter that I did over on LinkedIn yesterday. And so, and I talk about this all the time. And so for my clients, hey, 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 Renee, how are you? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, especially coming from you. Thank you so much for that, Renee. And so, you guys, with this particular topic, and you guys hear me talk about the fact that I work with established coaches. So when I'm talking about established coaches, my clients, they have already been selling their services, but their thing is they've been selling their services at a lower price point. And so they have this desire to raise their prices because they are starting to exhaust themselves, because they're constantly feeling like they constantly have to sell because of the lower price point. They have to get all these people in here or into their program in order for them to meet their revenue goal. And so they feel like they're constantly selling, and then they end up in this trap of, oh my gosh, I spent so much time marketing. Now I got to shift my focus and actually fulfill, when it comes to the program. So actually serve the people that they now have into the program. But then they're like, okay, wait a minute. Now I got to go back there and start selling again. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that their prices they're underpricing. And so they know and understand that they're underpricing. But the issue is they may have tried to raise their prices, but then they weren't able to get the people in the way that they were when their offer was at $1,000 or $1,500. And so once again, they have this desire to raise their price. So whether or not they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling, I've had clients who have 10x their prices and they've been able to sell it. And so I want to talk to you guys about shifts and changes you have to make, because what you did to sell a $1,000 offer or a $1,500 offer, it looks different when you're selling a $5,000 offer. It looks different when you're selling a $15,000 offer, that type of thing. And so a lot of you guys are trying to do the same strategies and the same techniques and the same messaging and all of that stuff, but you're talking to a different person. So you just have to ensure that you're shifting and that you're tweaking how you're talking about your offer, how you're promoting your offer, the messaging around the offer, even the price point around the offer. And so that's what I want to have this conversation about. Okay, so that's what this conversation is about. So whether or not it's a group coaching type of situation or whether or not it's your one-on-one, because a lot of my clients at this level, their goal is to actually shift into more group coaching. And if they are going to do one-on-one, they want their one-on-ones to be at 7,500 or 10,000. Like they want their one-on-ones to be at a higher price point. So that way, if they get those people in, those people are more committed and they're going to actually see the program all the way through. They're actually going to do the work. And so they are now ready to do things like $3,000, $5,000, $7,500 group programs. Like that's what they're looking to do. So that's who this particular live is for. Because once again, like I said, your messaging has to be different. Your mindset has to be different when you're approaching someone and you're looking to get them into your $5,000 group program, or you're looking to get them into your $9,000 or your $15,000 one-on-one. Okay, so that's what this conversation is all about. It's definitely different. Yes. And the thing is, hear us when we say that it's different. It's not that you have to do a lot of stuff. It's just a different mindset. I like to call, and you guys have been hearing me talk about this next level. So for my clients, they are desiring to shift into that next level for them. So the next level of clientele, the next level of pricing, their next level offer, their next level messaging, their next level promoting. And so that next level that they're desiring to move into, once again, because they're looking to attract a next level client, because that client at that level has different needs. And so you have to ensure that not only your offer, but also your messaging is in alignment with alignment with their next level. You guys, let me know in the chat, does that make sense? Let me know, does that make sense? And so once again, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. And you guys always know me. Whenever I have these conversations, I always start off and I'm always talking about mindset. And so my thing is, in order for you to be at this particular level and you're desiring to serve at this particular level, it's going to take a mindset shift. Like, I need you to hear me. Once again, to be able to sell at that level, it has to be a next level in your mindset. Okay, so you have to undergo, they're going to be next level mindset shifts. And so you guys know that I work with Christians. My people are believers. And so once again, that mindset, a lot of you guys are battling. And you're having this internal battle because in your mind, you feel like God is pushing you to this different level, to this next level. And so once again, at this next level, you're not going to serve the people that you're currently serving. And that's where your internal struggle is coming in. I need you to hear me with that. That next level that God is shifting you into, that means you're going to have to serve a client at a different level. It's not the same client that you're currently serving. And for a lot of you guys, you're struggling with leaving people behind because you're like, oh my goodness, they may not be able to afford $3,000. They may not be able to afford $9,000. Now, who's gonna support them? Who's going to serve those people? I don't want to leave people behind. And so that's one of the biggest mindset shifts that you have to make. Because once again, that next level that God is shifting you into, there are people that need what it is that you have that's at that next level. And so what I have to talk to my clients about when they have that mindset struggle, because like I said, they're Christians, they're believers, and their goal, they want to help everybody. But the thing is, that person at that level, at the $5,000 level, at the $5,000 level, the $15,000 level, their needs are different. And so you have to trust God that if God is pushing you to that next level, that he's raising up someone else to serve the people that you used to serve. Do you trust him with that? If he is shifting you to that next level, do you trust God that he's also raised up someone to now serve the people that you used to serve? That's the question. That's the question. So like I said, when I talk about that shift in the mindset, first, we have to release that guilt about leaving people behind. What about those people that can't afford that particular service? And you guys, like I said, you have to trust God with that. that, like I said, he has raised up someone else that will be able to serve those people. Good. I'm glad that this is making sense. I'm glad that it's making sense. Hey, Tessa, I'm glad that this is making sense. Okay. So you guys, it's okay. It is okay. Another mindset struggle that they have. So one of those mindset struggles is leaving people behind. Once again, Bev, once again, those are the people that help me to get to where I am, and that's fine. But once again, that next level of ideal client, they have a different need. And so you want to step into being able to serve them, those people at that particular needs. Because my thing is, what about them? What about them? And I know for me, that was also one of my struggles. So once again, what I'm talking about with that are for those coaches, they're just trying to figure out, who's my ideal client, they're trying to figure out what to offer and all of those things. And there are quite a bit of them in my community. But in this season, that's not who I'm called to serve. I had to be okay with that because, like I said, I had to trust in the God that I serve, that he will send people to serve those people. And once again, I'm okay with that. Once I got comfortable with that, that made a huge difference in my mindset. But what it also forced me to do was to also build a community of people where I can refer those people to, where I'm like, well, hey, I don't serve those people that are looking for those types of things. These are the people that I serve, but I do know some people that I can refer you to, people that I feel comfortable and confident in being able to refer them to. So that was one, once again, dealing with my own mindset. And like I said, so I'm able to recognize it and understand it when my clients come to me with that guilt. The other mindset shift that they have to make is, once again, being able to sell at that level. So like I said, they've been able to sell their $1,000 and $1,500 offers. They've been able to sell those. But like I said, their issue is they know how much they're pouring out into those types of offers. And they're like, wait a minute, this is not in alignment with what it is that I desire when it comes to my revenue, what it is that I desire when it comes to the level of impact. So now they find themselves taking on people that may not have been ideal, or they'll get the people in. They're not doing the work at the level that they desire for them to do the work in order for them to achieve the transformation. Like I said, they're pouring their heart and soul into what it is that they're doing, but they're not being able to create the type of business that they desire. And so, like I said, they have that sense and that urge to raise their pricing, but then they're like, okay, am I going to actually be able to sell it at that price point? Are people actually going to invest at that level? The thing with that is, once again, you guys, you have to know and understand the power in what it is that you do as a coach and what it is that you offer. You have to understand, and you'll always hear me talk about, being able to view your offer through the lens of the transformation. So you have to know, this is why I always tell people, especially Christian, I'm talking to my Christian female coaches right now. I'm talking to y'all right now on this. Get in the room with people who are selling at the level that you desire to sell. Once again, get into the rooms with people who are selling at the level that you desire to sell, because the conversations are different, the mindsets are different, the actions are different. And so, like I said, it does something to you when you see someone close a $5,000, a $15,000, a $20,000 offer. It does something to you mindset wise. It allows for you to see that, wait a minute, people are selling like that at this level, recession or not, pandemic or not, because the God that we serve, he's not looking at that stuff. You are, but he's not. So like I said, get into the rooms with people who are doing it at that level. And like I said, it does an internal shift for you. And so like I said, I always tell the story. I remember when I was trying to go for my first 6-figure year. And I got into the room, and I was in this group coaching program, and somebody closed $100,000 in a week. I said, look here, Father. And these people weren't even Christian. I said, look here, Father. Look here, Father. If they're able to do it outside the kingdom, how much more can we do it inside the kingdom? But then this is the question. Renee asked a very valid question. Renee is like, okay, where's the right room? Where are these rooms? How do you find these rooms? Because the struggle that I had was, if you just heard that example that I had, yeah, I was in the room with these people, but they weren't Christians. They talking about the universe and crystals and praying to all this stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. That's not, I'm not in alignment with that. So I'm like, well, God, what do I do when I don't see that type of thing? Where once again, you always hear me talk about where they're marrying faith with business strategy, that type of thing. That's always been my thing. And so, you guys, this is for you. This is for me. If you're looking for a thing and you can't find it, it may mean that you have to create it. And that's exactly what God called me to do. I had to end up creating it because I'm like, God, I shouldn't have to sit through this 1.5 hour, 2 hour coaching program and hearing all of this stuff that contradicts what it is that I believe as a Christian. It was such an internal struggle for me. So I'm like, okay, God, if this is what it is that I feel like you're leading me to, you're going to have to show me how to do it. You're going to have to show me how to do it. And once again, God, I'm not trying to compromise on my faith to do this. So that is what birthed my accelerator. That's actually what birthed it. Because once again, I was in environments where they were selling at that level. But once again, the environment itself. And so once again, even in this realm, when it comes to, working with other Christians, the thing that I find is, once again, it's not a marriage of both. So once again, it's heavy on the faith and we need our faith, but then there's no business strategy there. But I'm like, wait a minute, we're talking about God and we're talking about scriptures and we're talking about this alignment, but then we're also not talking about the practical side of what it is when it comes to the business, the tactical side, the strategic side. Like, I want something that has both. And so, like I said, even for yourself, if you're looking for something in your industry, your particular industry as a coach, and you're not seeing it, you may have to end up either creating it yourself or partnering with other people to be able to create it. That type of thing. So you guys, I'm telling you. So those of you, like I said, you're selling your $1,000, your $1,500 offers, but you realize that, hey, it's time for me to sell bigger, but you're having some of those mindset struggles. Like I said, one, the fear of leaving people behind. Two, you're wondering, hey, are people going to sell it? Are people going to buy it? And like I said, and I knew when I did the very first round of my accelerator. So now we're on round 6. So once again, this is not a new thing. This is not something, this is a proven program. But once again, when I was able to create an environment where it was other Christians, and like I said, someone in the group had a $32,000 day. Someone in the group had a $10,000 week. Someone in the group in 90 days, they closed over $100,000. Someone in 2 weeks, 19,000. Once again, so not only was the income there, but the impact as well, because the thing is, there'll be some people like, whoa, Bev, I've never created this much money all at once. Because once again, that's a different mindset right there. Some of you guys are like, oh, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. But I'm telling you guys, when you bring in revenue like that, it's a different level of mindset. Because in your mind, your thing is, okay, am I going to be able to maintain this? Oh my gosh, am I becoming too focused on making the money that I'm seeking money first and not God? So all of these other mindset things start to pop up. So you want to ensure that you're in an environment that, like I said, you marry both of those things together. You can do that. It is done. People are doing it, period. But I always say, be very prayerful about the environments that you get in. I always tell you guys to listen to people, check out their content, check out their testimonials, period. Y'all are killing me when you don't check out testimonials. And then you're like, well, hey, I didn't get the result. Well, hey, did they have testimonials that were in alignment with what it is that they said that they support people in achieving? I'm just saying. Yep, Crystal, when I tell you, we all struggle with that. And so once again, being very aware of that mindset. That's why I know for me, when it comes to mindset, really and truly being able to anchor in on scripture, having scripture as a part of the program, having prayer as a part of the program. Literally, I have an intercessory team that intercedes on the behalf of my business and the clients that I serve. Because once again, when you move to that next level like that, it's a different level of mindset. And that's why I say be very careful about the programs that you invest in. Is it in alignment with what it is that you need in this season? That was another area where I felt like established coaches didn't have that same level of support as some of the emerging or some of the startup coaches had. Like you'll always see tons of programs out there, how to identify your ideal client, how to create an offer, how to price your offer. Like you see that all the time. But the thing is, for those established coaches where they're like, okay, well, I know who my ideal client is. I may have to tweak a couple of things. I know how to create an offer. So I don't need programs on that. I need those programs on how do I make that shift? How do I shift into that next level when it's time for me to serve that next level client? When it's time for me to have the next level of my pricing, that type of thing. Where are those programs for that? And so, like I said, that's where my accelerator, that's what it was birthed out of. So that type of thing. So like I said, that first thing is going to be that next level mindset shift, that next level mindset shift. The next thing you also want to be really, really focused on when it comes to being able to sell at the $3,000 plus level, the needs of your ideal clients at that level is different. Their needs are different. Are you tapping into that? What they're challenged with is different. Are you speaking to that? Well, first of all, have you even identified what your next level ideal client, what they're struggling with, what they're challenged with? So that person that you want to serve at that level, they have a different set of struggles. Have you actually sat down and identified those things? And so literally I'll go through like the other day, I sat down. So when I was thinking about the accelerator, I'm like, okay, this is round 6 of the accelerator. This thing is proven. Those people who get the best types of results, who are those people? And when I say best types of results, one of my previous, the last round, they were literally averaging between $5,000 and $9,000 a week. So let me take that word. I said average. They were literally making between $5,000 and $9,000 a week. Let me take the word average out. They were actually making it. And so once again, when I was looking at those clients, what are those things? So like I said, you really have to take the time to sit and ask yourself, what are they challenged with? So like I said, one of the things that I mentioned, and once again, they're challenged with the mindset of leaving people behind. They struggle with leaving people behind. Hey, Trina, both the Trinas are on here today. They struggle with leaving people behind. Because one of the questions that I sat down and I asked myself, I said, they want to raise their prices. So that was one of the things that I had, that this is their challenge. They want to raise their prices. And so my next question to myself was why haven't they raised their prices? Well, why haven't they? They want to raise their prices. Why haven't they? And so once again, some of the things that came up, once again, fear of them leaving people behind, fear of them not being able to sell it, fear of them not knowing how to position that new offer, because they're trying to position it the same way that they were positioning their $1,000 and their $1,500 offer, and it's not the same. So they don't know how to position this $5,000 offer. They don't know how to position this $15,000 offer. And then they don't know where these people are. In their mind, they feel like they have to go out and get a whole new audience. And it's not true. So like I said, I literally have that stuff written down, because now that allows for me to be able to, one, those are conversations that I can have with my ideal clients via my content, via my email, my lives, my newsletters, my posts, all of those things, to let them know that these are ways for you to solve the challenges that you have. And if you desire to solve it and you want support, I am here. This part right here. So Renee said, I'm challenged with what's going on in the current economy and the price of my model course, my modeling course events and programs. And so once again, you guys, this is the thing. This is the thing. You want to ensure, even with what's going on currently in the economy and what's going on in the world, of course, you want to be aware of that. But what you also want to ensure is, and know that if God is calling you to be able to serve at this level and price your services at that level, it is because it's people out there that desire to be served at that level. So Renee, you want to shift your focus because once again, you guys, I don't know what the pricing is on Renee's program. I don't know what her pricing is. But once again, you guys, at that particular level, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And so Renee, you have to be super crystal clear on that particular offer that you're referring to. Who is the ideal fit for that? For most of you guys, 80% of the people in your audience is not going to be a good fit for this particular offer that we're talking about. So don't try to squeeze them into that program. Especially because I'm talking to believers. Because I will always go back when we're in the midst of this pandemic, we're in the midst of this economy, but think about the children of Israel in the midst of everything that they were going through when it came to the plagues and everything. Were they not thriving in the land of Goshen? So in spite of what's going on in the world, remember, we do things based on God's economy. I refuse to believe that God gave you this idea when it came for your services, Renee, when it came to these price points, Renee, that there aren't people out there that are willing and able to invest in it. I refuse to believe that. So like I said, that $1,000 offer, that $3,500 offer is not for everyone in your community. And that's fine. But I refuse to believe that God gave you this $3,500 offer and then there aren't people out there who are supposed to be in there, period. God's children thrived in the midst of those plagues. We were called to thrive as well. But my thing is, who are you keeping your eyes on? Are you keeping your eyes on what's going on in the world or what God told you to do? Because remember, Peter took his eyes off Jesus. What did he start to do? When he started looking around at what was going on in the world, all of the storms that were going on in the world, what happened to Peter? He started to see because he started looking at things through the eyes of the world versus looking at it through the word and what God had already told him, what God had already showed him. So that's the thing, you guys. You have to ensure that once again, for that particular offer, it's for a particular person that they're just like, you know what? I have tried everything that I know how to do, and this is not working. I need something different. And that something different is what it is that you have. So that's what you want to keep in mind. That's what you want to keep in mind. Don't allow the enemy to allow you to be distracted to look at, oh my gosh, you see these gas prices? Y'all need to stop posting about that stuff. We know what the gas prices are. Thank God we're not tied to the world's economy. We're not tied to the world's economy. Now, once again, are there people struggling out there? Yes, there are. Like, we're not ignoring that. But my thing is, this is how I always see it. If you're growing and thriving in your coaching business, how much more impact can you have on those people to be able to support those people? How powerful would it be for you to be able, because of the money that you're making in your coaching business, to be able to go to your local gas station and just give out $100 gift cards? How powerful would that be? Because of the revenue that you're generating in your business. It allows for you to be able to bless people even more than what you're currently doing where you are now. You see what I'm saying? So you guys shift your focus. Shift your focus. Okay, God, I know that you gave me this idea. I know that you told me to serve these people at this level. And so, like I said, that next level client, she's in your current audience right now. And once again, I always default to the pronoun she. Sorry about that. If you serve men, same thing. They're in your current audience right now. So while you're focused on what's going on in the economy and you're not having a conversation with her because you feel like, well, oh my gosh, Belle. And like I said, there are people with this economy, it is impacting them, period. But for that particular offer, it's for your next level ideal client. That's who it's for. And so you want to keep in mind, okay, that's the person that I was called to serve. It's so funny. One of my clients in my academy, which I had a post in the group, actually a post on my page and send it out to my email list. This young lady, she's a relationship coach. She's on the verge of her first five-figure week. And so do I break it down? She's in the midst of her first 5-figure week, in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a poor economy, in the midst of, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So there will always be a reason and an excuse or whatever. But what are you going to choose to focus on? So just imagine if you start creating 5-figure weeks. I know people are talking about 5-figure months. Imagine if you were creating 5-figure weeks. How much more powerful, how much more of an impact can you have? So you guys, that's what I want us to do. I want us to make sure that we're focused on the right things, us as believers in business. So that's the part right there. Like I said, I'm not saying that we're ignoring people, but for that particular offer, it's not for everybody. You guys, it's really not for everybody. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. I love that, Renee. She said, if I'm honest, yes, the news on the economy was holding me back. Got to refocus, got to get back on track. And so, you guys, that's the thing. Once again, you want to focus on those people that God has called you to serve in this season. The other part I just mentioned, that your next level ideal client, she's currently in your current audience. But are you speaking to her? Because remember, I mentioned she has a different level of challenges. Are you speaking to her specific challenges? So like I said, I know my next level ideal client. She's not struggling to sell her $1,000, $1,500 offers. That's not what her challenge is. Her thing is, even when she did raise the price to $5,000, she put the message out there and nobody bought it. So then her first thing is, oh my gosh, this doesn't work. Oh my goodness, I went ahead and put this out here. Oh my goodness, now I need to get me a whole new audience. No, you don't. You don't have to get a whole new audience. You have to speak to your next level ideal client. You have to speak to her through your next level messaging. And so you want to ask yourself, am I speaking to her through my content? But the thing is, that means that you actually have to pause to see what's going on with her. So like I said, I want to challenge you guys, if you have not sat down to look at her, so that $5,000 offer that you're trying to sell, and it doesn't seem like anybody wants to buy it. Once again, look at that offer. Look at how you're talking about that offer. Look at your content. Is it speaking to her? Because like I said, what she desires, those people that are investing $5,000, $15,000, what they desire is different than what the person at the $1,000 level, what they were looking for, what they needed. But once again, we're still trying to use the same messaging for our $5,000 client that we were using for our $1,000 client, and it's not the same. The messaging should not be the same. It can't be the same because they have different needs. That type of thing. Okay, so the question. So Trina asked this question. So Trina said, question. So as a self-love relationship coach, does the message change or just my delivery? So once again, Trina, it's going to be, who is it that you're speaking to? So if you're desiring to sell at the $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 level, yes, the messaging has to change because her need is different than that client that was at the $1,000 level. So your messaging will have to change. And then we're going to talk about the delivery in a second. So that's the part right there. That's the part right there. And Trina, if that's what you need to do, was that? Oh, hold on, let me see. I thought that was Trina. Oh, Tessa, there we go. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. So Tessa said, I'm pausing because I don't feel like I can hear her right now. And so you guys, if you have to get still and you're just sitting there like, okay, what's going on with her? Like I said, it goes back to, what's keeping her up at night? What are those conversations she's having in her head? What's those conversations that she may be having with her biz bestie? What are those conversations that she may be having with her girlfriends, but her girlfriends can't help her because they in the same boat? Like, how they gonna help her? They in the same boat. You see what I'm saying? That type of thing. So that's why it's so important for you to get your message out there and get it out there consistently. One of my clients, another one of the members in my academy, she was sharing with me, a client that she's working with. And she was like, Bev, she said, I keep hearing you in my head because it's something this person is doing in their business. And she was like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So she's trying to share with her and trying to tell her, you may want to consider this, but she's like, the person's not listening. And you know what that did for me? That I literally said to her, you know what? That means I need to be even more vocal than what I've been before. I need to make sure that I get my message out there as consistently as possible in front of that next level ideal client to let her know that what you have been doing to get to the level that you are now is not going to work to get you to that next level. And like I said, part of that is working on the messaging. So part of that, once again, with my clients, we literally have to shift their messaging. We have to shift how they view that offer. And for a lot of them, when it comes to their offer, they actually use the exact same offer, this next level offer. It's the same offer they were using before with their $1,000 clients, their $1,500 clients. But once again, there had to be a shift in how they looked at the offer, how they actually packaged the offer. We just had to shift that. So a lot of them were literally taking their same $1,500 offer. We were able to repackage it and reprice it for $5,000, $25,000. I shared with you guys the other day about the client that when she came on the call, she said it was $15,000. When she left the call, it was at $25,000, and she added zero to it, zero anything new. She didn't add anything new. A lot of you guys are thinking that's another thing that my clients have as a mindset thing, where they feel like they have to add a whole bunch of stuff in order for them to justify now selling this thing at $3,000 or $5,000 or $7,500, whatever it is. And you don't. That's a misconception. That's a myth. And so, like I said, with that next level offer, you have to be able to view it through the lens of the transformation. And I'm telling you, when you look at it through that lens, it makes such a huge difference. And so when you show up and you say that this offer is $5,000, you don't stumble. You say it with a level of confidence that you didn't even know you had. You're like, well, dang, where did that come from? Because you now know and understand, and you're looking at it through the lens of that transformation. You understand that once again, if they actually don't get into the program, they're the ones missing out. You're not missing out. They're missing out. They're missing out on the transformation that they've been looking for. So you have that sense of urgency because you understand that if they get in here, if they follow the process, this is the type of result that they're going to be able to achieve. So you have that sense of urgency to get that information out there as consistently and persistently as possible. So that's the thing. When you understand the level of impact that your next level offer has, it shifts things in you. And so, like I said, even with round 6 of my accelerator, this round looks different from the other rounds. Why does it look different? Because once again, I understand that next level of impact. I understand that when these coaches get into this program, not only does it shift your business, not only does it shift the way that the income comes into your business, it also shifts the relationship that you have with God. Because the thing is, with this particular program and the way that we do it, you have to rely and lean so heavily on God with this program, because it forces you to step into a space that you haven't been in. And so you're going to do things that make you uncomfortable, not uncomfortable when it comes to your faith, but uncomfortable with how you've been showing up in your business. Hey, Leslie, oh my gosh, how are you? How's the baby? So that's the thing. So that's what I mean by that. And so, like I said, that's why it's so important in my programs to marry both the business strategy and the faith. I can't separate the two. And so once again, that's why you'll see the type of results that you see. And so once again, people ask, well, Bev, how are they getting these results so fast? What do you mean they're making between $5,000 and $9,000 a week? It's because we decided to marry both of them together. I decided when I made that commitment, when I told God, okay, God, I'm not seeing what it is that I'm looking for out here I'm going to create it, but I need you to help me to do this. So when you partner with him with that, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. And so, like I said, this level of confidence that I have talking about the accelerator, that's the level of confidence that you have to have when it comes to the programs that you're offering. And so once again, I shared another example with one of my new clients in the accelerator. So she joined the accelerator before I officially started talking about the accelerator, because she was like, Bev, I need this. I need a space with other believers in business who are established. So she's not worried about hearing people say, I don't know who my ideal client is. I don't know. I think I'm going to give up because I don't know if this is what it is. No, they are committed to their business. It's just that their thing is, hey, in order for me to move to that next level, she understands that she has to do things differently from what she was currently doing. And like I said, it does something to you when you're in rooms, especially with other believers in business. And like I said, they're closing at that level. They're closing $10,000 sales. They're closing $5,000 sales back to back to back to back. You're having $12,000 days. You're having $32,000 days. You're closing six figures in 3 months. It shifts something in you. It allows for you to see the possibilities. That's the powerful piece. It's the possibilities. You get to see that. And so that's why I will continue every day until we start the next round, which is the end of June. You're going to see me talking about my accelerator. I may be in the inbox asking you questions about the accelerator. Hey, do you want to join us in this round? Now, what I will also say with my accelerator, it's not for everybody. I clearly say it's for established coaches. So you couldn't have just woken up yesterday and said that you're a coach. Also, the investment for my accelerator is not for everybody. Just like what I was just talking to you about your offer. The accelerator is $7,500. That's not for 80% of the people in my current audience. It's not for 80% of them. And I'm okay with that. But for that 20%, it is. It's for that 20%. That is that 20% that is just like, hey, I need something different. What I'm doing got me to this point. But to get to that next level, I have to do something different. And not only do I have to do something different, I want to be surrounded by other believers in business that are doing it at that level as well. Because imagine if you're closing $10,000 in a day. Imagine if you're closing $10,000 in a day, what level of impact does that have on you, your business, your family, and the people that you're serving? What level of impact does that now have? Once again, if you do six figures in 90 days, where for a lot of us, that's the goal, to try to do six figures in a year, but you're around other people who are doing six figures in 90 days. What kind of shifts, internal shifts, would you have? And so that's the thing. Like I said, knowing your people. And like I said, I know for my people, their faith is important to them. So they're not trying to build this business. They're not trying to generate that level of revenue. They're not trying to do it outside of God. They're trying to do it in a way that's in alignment with what it is that God has called them to do. And that's why I'm always also so passionate about the fact that don't subscribe to that myth that in order for you to generate exactly what I just said, in order for you to do $30,000 in a day, in order for you to do $10,000 in a week, you have to help people make money. That is a lie. That is a lie. You don't have to be a coach that helps other people make money in order for you to generate at that level. But you do have to do what I talked about in this live, though. You have to ensure that you're looking at it through that next level. That's going to be the part. So like I said, the example that I just gave where one of my academy people, she's on the verge of her first 5-figure week. She's a relationship coach. She's not helping people make money, but she knows and understands the impact of what it is that she does as a relationship coach for those people that desire to have that next level in their relationship and what it is that they're willing to invest so that they shift out of the place that they're currently in and into that next level. And she doesn't have any issue with that, of knowing that, hey, this particular offer is not for everybody, and that's okay. So that's what you have to get into that space with, it being okay. And then, like I said, really and truly knowing that there are people out there that you have been called to serve. Time to refocus, reposition, reboot, realign, refresh my mindset, and do not stumble. That part, you guys, it's time for a lot of you guys to shift. Like I said, a lot of you guys, once again, you're frustrated with who you're currently serving. You're frustrated. I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday, and her thing was, she had this offer, and then she ended up stepping back to the previous client that she was serving because she was like, oh my goodness, what about them? They're not going to be able to afford it at this price point. She went back to the previous client, but now she's out of alignment with what it is and who it is that God has called you to serve. When I tell you currently, she had to have a conversation with her lawyer about this particular person because she got out of alignment. So those of you that are trying to pull people across the finish line and you're pulling them across, kicking and screaming and all that stuff, I'm telling you, when you get out of alignment, you're going to end up with people that you were not called to serve. That type of thing. Okay. And then here's a question here. And you guys, the comments are coming in fast. So if I'm missing the names, Letitia said, how long should you be established to price higher? And see, and that's the thing, Letitia, is really and truly when it comes to you understanding the level of transformation that you support your people in achieving, you could be a coach for 1 month and charging at $5,000. It's all at you being able to see it through the lens of your transformation. Now, those of you that are just like, Bev, I'm just starting, I always tell them, get at least 3 people in to the program, help them get the results, and then you can always raise your prices. That's one way. Like if you're not confident to say, okay, I've only been coaching on paper for a month, because, I always say on paper because you've been coaching longer than that, although you may not have been getting paid for it, you've been coaching longer than that. Get 3 people in there, help them get the results, support them in getting the results, gather those testimonials, and raise the price. That part right there. Okay? Yes. Okay. Perfect. So glad that was helpful, Letitia. I see you, Carla. Carla said, wow. And so you guys, like I said, so that's the mission that I'm on. I'm on the mission to support those established coaches. Well, Bev, I'm not there yet. That's fine. I have coaches I can refer you to, or you can join me in my academy. Just told you 1 people in my academy, a 5-figure week. But I'm telling you, those of you that are those established coaches, once again, the things that you were doing to support the $1,000 and $1,500 clients is not the same for that $3,000 client. It's not the same for that $10,000 client. It's not the same for that $20,000 client. You know what just popped up? What scripture just popped up when I just said that? It made me think about the fact that some of you guys are trying to put new wine into old wineskins. Some of you guys are trying to put new wine into old wineskins. You're trying to serve those people, and that's not who you've been called to serve anymore. And that's why it feels like it's not working. That's why I feel like it's bursting out, that things are not working the way that you thought that they were, because you're trying to fit that round peg into a square hole, all of those things. Okay? So you guys, that's all that I have. I try to keep my lives to 30 minutes, and here we are at 48 minutes. So sorry about that. So you guys, if you have specific questions about me and how I may be able to support you, please feel free to reach out to me. But like I said, in this season, I know who God has called me to serve in this season. So in this season, it's my established coaches. It's my established coaches in this season. And so, like I said, those of you, if you desire to generate revenue at that level, your goal is at least $20,000 in 90 days. And I always say at least 20,000. Then I would love to have a conversation with you about the accelerator. So once again, my accelerator, this is round 6. So like I said, this is a proven offer. The last round, they literally were closing $5,000 to $9,000 a week, not averaging, but closing $5,000 to $9,000 a week in the last round of my accelerator. So when you see an investment of $7,500, that's why. That's why the investment is what it is. So once again, either $6,500 if you pay in full, or 4 payments of $1,875. So once again, $6,500 if you pay in full, or 4 payments of $1,875. So once again, if you have specific questions about the accelerator, round 6 of the accelerator, message me. We can have a conversation. Like I said, if it's not a good fit, I will let you know, because that accelerator is a different environment. Most of you guys have not been in an environment like my accelerator. It's not a group coaching program. We don't say, okay, this week we're going to talk about your ideal client. The next week we're going to talk about how to create your offer. The third week. No, that's not what my accelerator is about. My accelerator is about taking daily revenue generating activities, or doing daily revenue generating activities. That's what my accelerator is about. So once again, it's about taking daily action in there. So that is a completely different level. It has a completely different level of accountability. Most of you guys are not used to the level of accountability that's in there. You cannot hide in that particular accelerator. We keep the groups at a minimum of 8, because once again, I need to know what's going on. So like I said, if you are interested in the accelerator, please feel free to reach out to me, or you can click the link. The link above my head has all the information about it. But like I said, this is round 6, so it is a proven program. Like I said, the last round, they were creating $5,000 to $9,000 a week. And so once again, that's why the investment is what it is. So once again, is the $7,500 better off in your account, or is that $7,500 better off in a program where you get to be with other Christian female coaches, other believers in business that are generating revenue and selling programs at the level that you desire to sell them? So like I said, that is definitely for the established coach. You've done your $1,000 offers. You've done your $1,500 offers. You're ready to shift into these $3,000, $5,000, $25,000 programs. That's what your desire in selling those programs. That's what it is that you desire to do. And so if that's you, I would love to have a conversation with you. Okay. All right, you guys. I pray you guys have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Once again, if you have specific questions for me, feel free to reach out to me. Once again, those of you that are catching me on the replay, thank you so much for joining us on the replay. Type in #replay, leave your questions, your comments, all that awesome stuff, and I will make sure that I get back with you. Okay. So you guys have an absolutely amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the other side of this live. Take care. Take care. Take care.